on the left side. Hits the pitch to Johnson. He gets outside. He's in! Mario Johnson! Two-point conversion! The Warriors are on! Unbelievable! 22 points! 16 seconds left!
No,
Welcome to Coach's Corner.
we're on.
What
Yeah,
were you gonna ask? What
Is
were
there
you
yelling like that in crew?
Oh, yeah.
Do they?
I think so.
Announcers go
No,
nuts?
no, the people yell.
They're not the
have
ones
announcers.
lined up along the bridge on Lake Quincy?
They don't have announcers in crew. We have so many questions. So this is a very special Coach's Corner for the first time. First time?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too.
We had a
remember
girl
who-
who rode crew. I don't know
played
if you say that,
basketball.
road crew.
Sure, yeah.
Who played basketball as well, and she was telling us a little bit about it. She went to, I think, Texas or Texas A&M. Had to be
She went on a
like
scholarship.
5, 6, 7 years ago, which means it's probably 12.
Yeah, or 15.
You know? Yeah.
So let me introduce everybody. You know Bobby and Billy and I. This young man over here who looks like he's about 15 is actually the boys' coach of the crew team, and his name is Chris Noble, and this is Matt Hastings. He's the girls' coach. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks
Good
for
morning.
having us.
I mean, a Coach's Corner first. And we do have tons of questions.
Okay.
I mean, how do you coach crew? I mean, I know you get in a boat. I know you get in a boat, and don't you yell into a megaphone as they're?
There could be some yelling taking place, yeah.
Yeah,
Are you alongside the boats?
Yeah,
You're in like a coach's boat or
Yes,
something?
we do have like our own launch with a motor on it.
Oh, nice.
So
there you
yeah,
go.
we don't have to row
Nice,
outside.
nice.
But yeah, we're just kind of following along, and we do have a megaphone that we use. Some guys have, like a cone that they can yell out into, but we have like one with a speaker. It's a little bit louder. So,
Do you ever, after a meet, does he call it a meet?
Race.
A race?
Regatta.
Do you like go over films the next day or the day after, say this is what you guys did wrong or right, or look at you, you're out of whack there?
Sometimes.
Do you
yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, you're filming this too, huh?
No, the tough part is we have to rely upon others because our coaching duties end when they launch off the dock. So it's a unique sport in that we do not coach them during the actual race.
Oh, wow.
So you're going to have to rely upon the Coxon. So when Owen comes on, he can definitely let you know about the intricacies of his position.
Okay, but during practice and stuff, and you're in the launch, are you taking film?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you are.
So somebody's in there with you filming them?
No, it's simple as taking out our phone and just really just holding with the phone and filming it right there, and then we have access to Huddle, which in
Oh,
football
you do that
we
too?
use a lot,
Oh, wow.
and we use that quite a bit.
Now, wait a minute, now so you get huddled so you can watch other crews?
No,
Oh.
watch ours. So,
Just you?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because there's a definite. It's not just sitting in a boat and rowing. There's a definite technique that has to take place. So we break it down. Literally, especially with Huddle, I mean, it's a great app that we can break it down frame
Because you
by
can go
frame.
slow-mo and
Absolutely.
all of that?
Yeah, and we break it down frame by frame and show them, we ultimately want our athletes to become students of the sport. And by videotaping them, they definitely have that opportunity to understand why we say something as opposed to just simply, just saying it. They understand why we say it and what we're looking for.
What you're looking for. So there's film study after each practice, I imagine.
Yeah, we do. We'll take video on our phones. We do also use GoPros. Then we'll kind of use that to kind of take a look at a specific athlete or at the whole boat, so the whole boat is moving. But yeah,
All right, so first of all, you two both rode? Did you row
Yes,
too?
I did.
You rode for
Uh,
some in Connecticut, you said it before the show, right?
for Ithaca College.
Oh, in for Ithaca, okay, and you?
I rode for Assumption College.
Oh, okay, all right. So, he's from Connecticut, are you from around here?
I am, Shrewsbury.
Oh, you live in Shrewsbury?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I have a question. And now, I know, the regatta's been around for 100 million years on Lake Quincy.
Yeah.
And they always talk about singles and pairs and fours and eights and, I mean, is that how you guys split it up too?
No, with us only because we're certainly on a limited budget and we're referred to as an 8 school. Now that doesn't mean that other schools that are 8 schools couldn't have what's called small boat training. where you'd have doubles or, quads or fours or something like that. With us, our training, we do have a 4, which is a 4-person boat, but since we race in 8s,
That's only for
our
training?
fleet is really very much all 8s.
So only 8s, you only do 8s?
Correct.
Competitively?
Correct. As far as competition,
Yeah,
yes.
right.
Now, come the fall, the fall season, if we so chose and we had access to that equipment, we could do smaller boats. It's the spring season that we're an 8 school, so we have to race and compete in 8s in order to qualify for our New England Championship in late May.
So when you go to the regatta, it's only in the 8 races, but there could be other races too?
Well, it depends.
I mean, we could compete in those other races.
No, I mean, like, there's 8 races and then there's other divisions of 4s and pairs.
Right,
And so you have to wait?
With the fall races have different categories.
Okay.
With the races that we do in the spring, it's
They're all
just
8s.
8s.
Yeah, okay.
And it's only high school teams that we do in the spring. In the fall, you could very well be racing against junior clubs. Like in the Head of the Charles, we rode against not only high schools, but we rode against junior clubs.
All right, and what's a
Well,
junior club? Is that like
it's-
AAU?
Well, more or less. It's basically like community rowing out of Boston, that you basically pay to play. Is that
Yeah.
so you're not part of your high school,
AAU.
but it's very competitive. And Chris's boys, his first boat did, just crush the Head of the Charles against other clubs.
Yeah, we talked to, what was his name?
Gavin.
Gavin.
We were
Gavin
there.
was doing he was doing the scoreboard at the
scoreboard,
football
yeah,
game.
yeah.
We were talking to him. Out of, how many boats? 200? You came
It
in,
was 83 or 86.
and you came in second or
and they got
third or something like that?
30th.
30th.
That was the
That's-
highest ever.
That's,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
that's the
But he was saying
wait a
no.
minute. Didn't he say something else too?
Yeah, dude.
We beat some school that we've never beat before.
St. John's, 3 times this year.
3 times.
20 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds.
Yeah. We didn't pick up
But-
on that.
But he said that
They must have hit the curb.
in the Head of the Charles, you had teams from England, Australia,
Yeah, it's
everywhere.
an international competition.
That's
crazy.
And
Well, that's
so
great.
we're competing with
and you were 30th out of the whole.
top schools from across the country and across the world in that race.
That's amazing.
So
So
it's
only the
pretty
boys
incredible.
did that, or the girls
No,
did it too?
the girls 1B did it as well.
How'd they
came-
do?
They came in 65th out of 85.
That's still amazing.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah,
Just to be
it's-
able to
incredible
compete,
race.
and he also Gavin also told us. See, when we think of racing, like the regattas down at Quincy,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they do it the same way. We always think of this, coming to the finish line, but you guys really go time.
For the fall, we do.
Oh.
For the spring, it is a sprint.
See, we're
Yeah,
learning
in
new
the
stuff every
spring,
time.
right.
Yeah, you didn't tell us that.
Yeah,
Come
he did.
on.
He did. He told us
did?
that. Yeah.
You're not
I missed
listening.
it.
He didn't listen,
And in
guys.
the spring, you'll line up 6 boats across.
Yeah.
And the winner is the winner.
And then
That's
yeah.
it. Yeah.
But in the fall, you'll line up a single file with some time between each boat, and you'll just go for time.
Now, is this MIAA sanctioned?
It is not. No.
There is not. MIA is not involved at all.
No.
Oh, that's good.
There goes the end of our show. It's nice knowing you guys. Thank
See,
you.
we
Coach
say all the
Shrewsbury.
time, Gavin, you heard us the other night, right? We'll never, ever get the
Yeah, sportsmanship.
sportsmanship award. Never. We know that. Go ahead.
How many high schools, and from where
Please.
would
Do
you compete against?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot.
A few dozen
Yeah. I mean,
regularly,
we're
or a couple
talking.
dozen regularly.
I mean, all across New England, Connecticut,
Okay.
Rhode Island, Maine.
Same people, every one of them. Like you say, in the spring, you start when in
For the
March-
spring.
end of March or April.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is each what do we call it? Each race the same people coming, or do you
No.
we play these 8 this time and we play these 12 the next time? How does that work?
There is some crossover where we do see the same teams maybe a couple times through the regular season, but we have a pretty competitive schedule, especially again with the guy schedule. It's more competitive simply because in our governing body is an MIAA. It's NERAS, New England Interscholastic Rowing Association,
Okay.
is our governing body come the spring, and there's a lot more male-only high schools than there are female-only high schools.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Right, so our main competition isn't just the public schools. We're going against Kent School, Phillips Exeter, Phillips
Yeah.
Andover, Salisbury.
So
School.
you're going against the
We're going
prep
against
schools too.
absolutely, and those are the ones that we need to, if our speed is matched with their speed, then that's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because those are the top level,
Sure.
top echelon crew teams.
Yeah, do they recruit?
I don't know. I can't say if they recruit
Okay, that means they-
formally.
They recruit.
Yeah, I can't say
I
that.
understand
But
that. I understand.
but their name of the school is I mean
what draws.
we're talking about schools that have graduated presidents of the United States.
Yeah.
Right. I mean these are some top echelon schools.
All right. Don't
I'm
even
not
say
gonna
it.
go there.
Don't say it. Don't bring up Bob, especially with him. We can't get far enough that way with him. All right. So, most of the kids that row at Shrewsbury High, are they the first time they get in the boat type of
Yeah,
thing
I
when they
would say
come in
so.
as a freshman?
Yeah, coming in as
Yeah.
a freshman for sure. They've never set foot in a boat. Some might have been to a camp, like a summer camp, to get some introduction to the sport. But other than that, like a week long or so camp, they're brand new.
How do you guys cut?
We do.
Unfortunately, we have to. Yeah,
So
How many boats do you have per,
we have five boats per program.
So,
oh, okay.
about
So you have
50
ten
athletes.
boats altogether?
Correct.
So you
Is
got
it like-
40 kids then?
Yeah,
We have 50.
50
50 on, 50 boys, 50 girls?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's
So is it
how
like-
many varsity
Yeah,
boats?
yeah.
You have like
4.
4 and then a
And then
couple
one
JVs
novice.
and then,
And we do mix some of the
It's
novice.
Novice.
We do mix some of the novice into our fourth
okay.
boat, and even if if they're very good, they can actually make it all the way up to the first boat. If
so you switch people
Yeah.
as you go through the season?
Right.
You
Yeah.
could say, okay, this third boat person is moving up to the second boat and the second, yeah.
Correct.
And
So
somebody
that's the
gets-
part of the coaching that
Yeah.
that's really what you gotta do, is placing people in the right spots.
And it's a challenge. As soon as you think that you got the right combination,
Yeah, somebody pulls a muscle and
you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're constantly
absolutely.
rethinking, maybe sometimes too much.
All right.
What's the difference between novice? I mean, what makes a novice a novice? I don't understand.
They're not as good as the,
Yeah.
as
Well,
the
No.
boat one?
It's about experience.
Oh, it is?
Okay.
It's someone who's just never participated in the sport before. Someone totally new. They have to introduce not just the exercise, but the equipment, how to de-rig a boat, for example.
All right, so if the three of us came out
No.
for crew. Oh,
I'm not getting in a boat
They
with
don't
you.
have, they don't have a boat heavy enough, or strong enough that
wait a minute.
we'd be the submarine division.
We'd be wearing helmets and shoulder pads.
I've seen those boats before. I mean, really? How wide are they? They're only about this wide, aren't they?
They're about as
Well-
wide as your shoulders.
Yeah,
So how are you gonna get in?
Whose shoulders we talking?
yeah. And it's even smaller for the Coxon. I mean, the
Oh,
Coxon seat is even smaller.
Is that
Is it
why
the-
the Coxon's gotta be small?
Not
weight.
necessarily height-wise, but weight, because the Coxon is dead weight. You know, he's
right.
more
Oh,
than
he's not
that.
doing-
He's
I know.
more than that.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, Owen, you're more than that.
Owen.
man, right?
Oh,
heard that
oh, dead weight.
But the heavier the Coxon is, the more that the
more they
rowers
gotta
now
pull.
have to drag around.
They should call you the anchor then, dead
Yeah,
weight.
Yeah.
Now, is there competition amongst your team? Like, does the second boat always trying to push the first boat? Does that second boat ever beat the first boat?
Sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. huh?
If we're not doing our
there's-
job right, they do.
What is the best time?
For
Well, for the sprints.
Oh, as far as like a race?
Yeah, in a race.
There's too many variables.
Oh.
Because water conditions, winds, if it's a headwind,
Sure.
tailwind, there's just too many,
Oh
there's
my
too many.
God.
You know, so it's basically, really, it's not as easy to say this is the best time. What you're looking at is, well, who you beating.
Can you see us trying to?
Do they
film
hold
them?
records? Are there records?
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the conditions have to be, like, if there's a significant tailwind, headwinds,
Right.
it's kind of like with the Boston Marathon, right? If there's a tailwind, something
right.
like that, the
Right.
record doesn't count.
Yeah, it's kind of,
Right.
how do
Right.
you do, I mean, like, what's the fastest time ever at Shrewsbury for a boys' boat? We don't know, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I've,
so
I've,
how-
I've never clocked
How
it.
long is the sprint?
1,500 meters.
1,500.
1,500 meters.
So that's 2,200.
No, it's less than a mile.
Oh, it's a little over.
Or
Yeah.
it's 100 meters less than a mile.
100 meters
yeah.
less than a mile.
Yeah.
That's a long way to row.
I don't, how heavy is the boat? We only got about
Fully-
30 seconds
we're-
before the kids come
Fully
on,
rigged, it's just over 200 pounds, fully rigged.
without them in it.
Oh, without them in it.
Is that a consideration?
It depends upon who's sitting in the boat,
Yeah.
right? Because
We can't
the boat itself has a weight class. So you can
okay.
have heavyweight boat, you
You
can
know
have
what,
midweight boat.
I'm
so-
hearing a lot of things that like when I watch the Kentucky Derby, I hear,
Yeah,
the
there's a
trainer
lot
puts
of
them up there and
technology.
done, and then it's,
Yeah.
that's kind of like
There's
you
a lot
guys.
of technology
I know.
into these.
Yeah, we gotta-
these
We
boats.
could talk for
Yeah.
45 minutes. All right, we'll be right back, and we're gonna bring on three seniors and a junior, and we're gonna talk to some of the kids. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Joining us here for the second half of the show. I'm gonna start on this side and go around that
Should go
way.
ladies first.
No. We're gonna keep the beautiful ones for the end, over here. Right here next to Coach Noble is Gavin Crouch, senior. Next to him is the Coxon, Owen Deadweight Ahern. Across from him in the black top is Natalie Sywick. And next to her is Caitlin Urbanik. Welcome, and thank you so much for coming on. We don't have much time, so I'm gonna have to talk really fast. You heard us, I heard you guys were laughing and joking over there. So you all started as freshmen, is that how it went?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we all started our freshman year because there really isn't an opportunity before your freshman year to get into the sport. But as soon as we all did, we kind of couldn't get enough of it, and we've all been rowing or coxing ever since.
So what draws you into it, Caitlin? I mean, what makes you, instead of going and playing soccer or field hockey, or lacrosse or whatever, going to crew?
Well, I think that even before I did crew, I did a ton of other sports. I did basketball and softball. I even did dance and gymnastics. And one thing that really just drew me to crew was just that I really love the team atmosphere where when you're in a boat, everyone's working together and you're trying to pull as hard as you can for the greater of the boat rather than just for yourself. And that was something that I really liked. And then also I found that it was when you put in the time and the hard work, you can definitely see the results, whether it's a new PR on the erg machine or a good result at a regatta. So those are the things that I think really drew me to the sport.
Gavin, there's a lot of off-season work involved too.
Yeah.
Talk to us. Tell us.
Oh
what
man,
it
I
is.
mean, recently today I've done 12K on the erg in the morning, and then I did 500-meter sprints this afternoon. It's nonstop grind.
Is it all about the core?
All about the core, all about the legs. Some people, it's a misconception that you use mostly arms coming into here, but that's really just to get ready for the next stroke.
Okay. So Owen, what do you do to get ready? Do you go on a diet?
Not necessarily. I don't really go on a diet.
I'm
Usually,
just kidding you, Owen. I was just kidding. No, really. I mean, what drew you to be a
how's he
coxswain?
prepare?
Yeah, how do you prepare?
So for me, preparing is going over videos of our boat as well as other boats, especially for races, seeing what other people do, and also what I can work on with the guys, what I need to tell them to work on and to fix. So that's really how I prepare.
All right, so how do you know when to, I know it's stroke, 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 but then when you sprint, I don't even know how it works, maybe the final 500 meters or whatever, and how do you know when to pick up the pace?
So it depends on the race, how you're doing. So if you're ahead in the race, you would go depending on what the other boats were going on. If you see a boat coming up on you, you would definitely want to make a move on them and keep pushing forward just to try to hold them off. But usually we sprint the last 300 meters, and that's just blackout, just go until you pass out.
Okay. Do you guys ever want to kill a coxswain?
Definitely, when they're first starting, there is a big learning curve. It takes them a lot because they have to focus on steering the boat, trying to motivate people, trying to keep track of the workout on hand. But definitely, it's really rewarding to see the coxswains progress because I've been with probably 3 different Coxons for a significant period of time, and it's great just to see over a season how much they can get better and improve.
I'm just gonna, one more time, I'm giving you a lot of credit. I can't imagine you yelling at him and getting him ticked off at you. I'm sorry.
He can do it pretty well, yeah.
All right, coaches, we got a quick, I know, we don't have much time, but you gotta talk a little bit about both players? Yeah.
Rowers.
Rowers that we have on, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gavin, he is the hardest working guy on the team. I mean, he puts everything he has into the sport, into the helping the other boys kind of find their way. And
Which is important.
yeah, I mean,
There's gotta be a lot of peer involvement when the young kids first start, I would think.
right, yeah, I think, he's a very good leader, someone for them to follow.
Role model.
especially
Look
when
up
they're-
to, right.
When they're kind
Good.
of
That
finding
is a
their
good
way.
thing. That's what a captain should be.
Yeah.
And your coxswain?
Owen, he has a awesome energy to him as a Coxon. He just did the head of the Charles, and he did an awesome job. You take a look at that video; it's a great example of what a good Coxon should be.
Great.
Well, go ahead, Coach, talk about the girls.
Caitlin and Natalie, like you just said with captains, leadership is, leadership qualities, and, we throw that word around, leadership, and what makes a leader, so on and so forth. But Caitlin and Natalie, I was kind of joking, I was actually kind of afraid to screw up with Caitlin and Natalie as the captains, because they bring a love to this sport unmatched from anybody. And their teammates pick up on that. They're being recruited for a reason, right? Because other coaches can see not only what they do on the water, but you just have to meet the two of them and understand that they're gonna, they could change for positive, the framework of a team, just because of what they're gonna bring as people.
That's what you want in captains.
Oh,
too.
absolutely. And having them as the captains has made my job so much easier, because I know that they're going to get stuff done that needs to be done.
How are you captains elected? Do the kids do it, or do you name them?
The students or the student athletes elect
last year?
for the girls team. Come May, they'll elect one captain for the next school year, and then the coaches name one others.
Okay, so there's a vote type of
Yeah.
thing. You two, do you do it the same way?
I do.
Okay, all right.
One quick question. During a race, is there anything that could fall off the boat? And if anything falls off the boat, no,
guys
say
wanna-
a row, an oar or something, do you automatically disqualify?
No, you could,
No.
there's definitely other ways that you can row. If there's one person who lost something in their oar lock that
Yeah.
keeps the oar in, you could row by sixes and still keep going, and 6 people going while they're carrying 2 other people plus the coxswain, and try your best. You probably
So,
won't finish that.
you have to have an even number, is what you're saying. You can't row
Well,
with
yeah.
7.
Yeah, if you have 7, then you're going to be turning in
Yeah,
one direction. Yeah, you don't want to be rowing in
If
circles.
something were to fall off the boat, you had a major malfunction.
Yeah.
Okay,
They're not supposed to fall.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm just-
There was some
I'm just
major
thinking.
malfunction there.
Can you all
I'm
swim?
just thinking.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on the swim team in the winter,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
yeah.
And I knew you did, because I asked the coach, but it's a prerequisite, right? You
It
gotta
is.
be able to, do they have to take a swim test before they?
No, we have their parents sign a swim waiver, that we give them specific information, they have to sign a
See,
swim
that's,
waiver.
that was the Democrat.
Let me tell you something. I grew up on Lake Quinsigamon. You don't want to fall in the water. Especially where you're starting from. No.
Yeah.
More where we end up.
Yeah, I think I voluntarily jumped in a few times my freshman
Oh,
and
yeah.
sophomore year, and now I don't think I would do
not-
that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, now that we have more of
No.
a knowledge of what goes on at Lake Quinsigamon, I think we elect not to.
What's your favorite thing about crew? Because I know there's a lot of hard work to it. I know there is. Because I've talked to kids that have done crew before, and the lifting and the running and the sprints and all that. And what's your favorite? I'm going to ask each one of you quickly. What's your favorite?
I guess my favorite part of crew would just be when you're putting in all this time and all this hard work, and then you get to just there's just some races where you'll just cross over the finish line with your teammates, and then everyone will just be it's like just this feeling that you're just so proud of everyone in the boat, and you're so proud of like yourself and what you've accomplished. So I think that feeling is like really unmatched with any other feeling. So that's probably
Yeah,
my favorite.
I would agree with that, and I would go to say like the unity of the team means a lot to me because we're one of the only teams that from novice to varsity have all of their kids at the same practice at the same time. We have the same pasta parties, we have the same races, and it really allows us to actually get some team bonding from the freshmen to the seniors where other sports don't necessarily get that.
Right.
And I think it makes us a really special environment, and we're able to check in with the freshmen more and make sure that they're doing well with their transition into
That's
high
great.
school.
The culture and the opportunities. I mean, the kids on my team are my brothers. Like, there's no one else
Yeah.
like them. And
Sounds
then-
like a football team.
It does, it does.
And-
I'm thinking that.
You go
in
to
my
war.
head.
You
Yeah.
go to war every
Yeah,
day.
you go to war,
Yeah.
and
Literally.
if one guy screws up, the
Yeah.
whole thing's wrecked.
Yep, you're as fast as the weakest guy in your boat, and everyone in my boat is strong enough to carry everyone across the line.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my favorite part would definitely just be the aspect of teamwork because you have 9 guys in a boat and every single one of them has got to be on the same page. And as soon as like one person gives up, the entire boat feels like the effect of them giving up because as soon as one person
does
starts
sound like
pulling light, everyone else has more weight to pull. And it's just the aspect of teamwork in my mind that makes it the best sport.
That's great. Coaches, real quick, one question. Prior to a race, do they run? Do they go for,
As a warm-up, sure.
as a warm-up?
Yeah,
And
but-
how
but-
far would they run?
Well, it's really just enough to kind of get them,
Just to
just get the blood flowing, because then
Flowing.
they have a dynamic stretch,
Oh, okay.
they got ergs, they got.
Let me just say something to both of you before I get back to them, is, I don't know which ones you picked as your captains, but you did a good job. These kids is really
Yeah,
impressive.
we're proud of the
Really
Shrewsbury
impressive. Yep.
kids.
Yep, we are.
Proud of it.
All right,
So we-
schools, I know, I just don't wanna forget this. Oh, you're a junior, so we don't have to talk to you
Yeah.
right now. Gavin, you talked to us in the booth the other
Yeah.
day, you're thinking about a few things, but,
Yeah, definitely.
go ahead.
There's definitely some schools that I'm looking at, like Marist, Oregon State, Wisconsin, but it's really up in the air, to be honest. But what I do want to study is either in marketing and communications or in television production. So
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. You can come back.
Come back and
run
take
this.
our
Yes.
job.
How about you ladies
Yeah.
now? Coaches has alluded to you both being recruited, so go ahead.
Yeah, so for academics wise, I want to study environmental science. And then recruiting wise, my top 4 right now would be like WPI, RIT, UMass Amherst. And then, yeah, so like those 3 are really some of my favorites that I like a lot.
And then for me, I think that like same thing with Natalie. Like I think and Gavin, like with crew, it's definitely compared to other sports, crew gets recruited a lot later because you start a lot later. So a lot of my options are still up in the air. This past fall, I've taken visits at Bucknell, Villanova, Rutgers, and BC. But then I also still have some other schools on the table as well. So I'm really just kind of playing it by ear. Hopefully, we'll know soon. But that's kind of where I'm at right now.
We got a lot of dumb kids in Shrewsbury. How many schools are there?
a whole lot of bricks.
We don't have any
And we didn't
deadweights.
even talk about, you both won state champions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
State public school champs.
Yeah.
State public school.
Okay, Gavin told us that you came in second to BC High.
Well, the boys team came.
Oh,
in.
BC High plays Division I in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a different race. The one the one we got
Oh,
trophies
yeah,
for is
he
the,
confused us with that.
That was at the New England Championships at Lakeland City here.
Okay,
Yeah.
but congratulations to both teams.
Thank you.
And,
All right.
all right, we're gonna wrap it up. I'm getting yelled at. We could have had you guys talk for another hour.
Thank you for coming
Thank you
on.
very much for
Thank
coming.
you.
I really appreciate it. All right, we'll see you next time on Coach's Corner. Who knows? Maybe we'll bring another team on.
If they don't drown, we'll bring them back to the